The Cerritos has arrived at Targalis 9 to help dismantle their capitalist system of wealth.
The actual dream. Hello, Internet. I'm Ren, and today I want to talk about the first two episodes of Star Trek Lower Decks Season 5, Dos Cerritos and Shades of Green. Overall, I'll start by saying I found both episodes to be serviceable. I love Lower Decks, and it's always great seeing the Cerritos crew back in action. But for the premiere of the final season, these episodes felt pretty low stakes, and neither of the stories were really compelling enough to elevate them among some of Lower Decks' best episodes, especially with the strong finish to last season. But the episodes weren't bad by any means. We got some fun adventures on Orion, and some nice character moments between our main Lower Deckers. So let's get into it. Spoilers for Dos Cerritos and Shades of Green beyond this point. By the way, this review was a bit rushed since they dropped 2 episodes at once, and I had a lot of other stuff going on, so this is going to be like my older style of reviews that didn't use as many clips. Please bear with me. Okay, let's start with Dos Cerritos. It opens with a disguised Tendi aboard the ship of Paler Toff, the skeevy friend of the collector Kevin Fajo from the TNG episode The Most Toys.
A belted sex idol to my collection.
Belted? Oh, well, I got 4 of them.
What?
Oh.
With the pedals intact?
The Orions take the ship, and Tendi tries to keep them from killing or mutilating anyone. The rest of the episode is divided into an A-plot on the Cerritos and a B-plot with Tendi's Orion crew. On the Cerritos, Boimler is excited to be part of Fleet Magazine's 30 Under 30 article.
It's here! My issue of Fleet is out! I'm in the 30 Under 30 feature!
And is bummed when he discovers he didn't actually make the list after all.
I'm sure you were the 31st under 30.
There's 15 honorable mentions. One of them went to Naomi Wildman. She's like 10 years old.
I do love the cover with all the articles, though, especially Klingon Couture, Blood is the New Black. I also love seeing Mariner and T'Lyn playing Kalto. It's a nice Voyager callback along with the mention of Naomi Wildman. Mariner is nervous about mentoring ensigns.
Ransom just assigned me a new batch of ensigns, which seems like a bad idea. I am not a helpful person.
And Rutherford is struggling without Tendi and trying to keep himself busy to avoid thinking of her.
How about a break?
Nah, I like the way work makes it hard for my brain to focus on the sad stuff.
The gang heads to the bridge to close a quantum fissure, which they've apparently been doing a lot of lately.
And another quantum fissure? This is like the 3rd one this month!
They have been appearing with statistically abnormal regularity.
They need to seal it to prevent weird parallel universe stuff from coming through, but then they're pulled through instead and encounter another Cerritos on the other side, captained by
Becky Freeman.
Everything is slightly changed by different decisions they've made, and Captain Freeman has been relegated to Starbase 80. Everyone works with their doubles while they figure out how to get our Cerritos home. T'Lyn and her double are the most similar.
It would appear our respective universes are only negligibly divergent. Fascinating.
Boimler's double is bearded and confident.
I wonder what we'll find out is different about the two of us. I don't know. We seem pretty similar to me.
And often in command.
I'm gonna hang back, in case the cap needs me to take over. She lets you take over the big chair? Yeah, sure.
Which makes our Boimler so insecure, he actually steals a pad with their copy of Fleet Magazine to see how the other Brad Boimler actually did make the list. Like a reverse tapestry situation. Rutherford's double, which he calls Otherford.
I'll have to be Rutherford's Tendi.
Otherford.
Yeah, that's how I've been calling him. Cute, right?
Adorable.
Buddy, that's adorable.
Has taken his implants a lot further, to the point of becoming vaguely Borg adjacent. Otherford also wiped his memory of Tendi to stop missing her, so Rutherford tweaks him to help him make friends again.
Just making a small adjustment to your friendship matrix. I am not here to make friends. I am here to make friends.
Mariner and Becky initially seem to hit it off until we discover Becky's questionable leadership style of keeping everyone on edge all the time.
Back straight, stop slouching.
Yes, Captain.
Fear is the best motivator.
And hitting them with a riding crop? What?
What the hell? You can't hit people! They can be your crew or your friends!
She tricks Mariner and switches places with her so she can be charmingly insubordinate aboard our Cerritos as a lower-ranking officer again.
Exactly! Meeting you just reminded me of how good I used to have it. I want to go back to being a loose cannon who tells her superiors to f off again!
But when Mariner alerts Becky's crew, they switch them back almost immediately, and our Cerritos heads back through the rift. Meanwhile, Tendi still owes a debt to Erica for the warship they borrowed at the end of Season 4. She has a chance to pay it off by bringing back an old lost warship to replace it.
If I retrieve this thing, we're even? I can go back to the Cerritos?
That's the deal.
but a team of blue Orions is also after it. Tendi initially butts heads with her crew when she saves an enemy, but she eventually gets them on her side when she discovers they all have aspirations outside of piracy.
I want to bake.
I want to dance!
And I want to teach ethics at Orion University.
She also discovers the warship is actually a medical ship.
This must have been one of the ships they used to cure the Great Plague.
She brings the ship back and Erica agrees her debt is paid. But then the Blues declare war for unpirate-like conduct. And Tendi decides to stay and deal with the consequences.
This is my mess. I'm gonna stay and clean it up. All right. If it's a war they want, they can have it.
And the episode is fine. It's fine. Like I said, it has its moments. The jokes are funny. I love the no interpersonal conflict bit between Becky's crew a la Berman-era Trek.
What in the Kazinti is going on in here? There's no interpersonal conflict allowed on my ship.
And about the ship mostly being Briggs.
How about I toss your whole crew in the brig?
She'll do it. Our Cerritos is mostly Briggs.
The arguments over which universe is the prime universe were also hilarious.
Output levels are optimal. Our deflectors are now linked with the bad Cerritos. How dare you!
But ultimately, the stakes weren't there, and Becky's whole switcheroo plot doesn't really make any sense. Like, no one's making her be a captain.
Hey, you don't have to swap with me to do that. You could just, be normal about it.
The only thing I'm grateful for is that this was a fake out for the season preview that made it seem like Mariner was going to majorly backslide.
You can't make me go back. I want to stay here and be charmingly insubordinate.
Instead, Mariner ends up being somewhat reassured about her ability as a mentor since she isn't nearly as much of a walking HR violation.
But I know I'm not gonna cover up my insecurity by becoming a screaming despot. I'll just be the kind of commander I wish.
But it doesn't really feel earned because Becky being that way isn't ever convincingly explained, so it just feels like it's chewing up runtime. I think the subspace fissures are probably setting up a larger story that'll be revealed over time like last season's disappearing ships, and we might see the doubles again, so maybe it'll pay off. The stuff with the Orions was also just fine. It's fun learning more about their culture, but this plot also has low stakes both in terms of action and emotion. I did enjoy Tendi's crew and hope we get to see more of them throughout the season, but I don't have a lot to say about it. Generally, nothing in this episode was bad enough to skip on rewatch, but it was decidedly middle of the pack, which brings us to Shades of Green. In this episode, we get another A-plot and B-plot. In the B-plot, Tendi and her sister are called before the Pirate Queen because their war is preventing the Orions from pillaging outside resources, and thereby preventing them from actually making any money.
With each of you pirating the other, there's no new booty flowing into the Syndicate.
She forces them to do a sailing race for treasure, where the loser will be stripped of their wealth, which makes sense since they're pirates, but somehow still feels kind of random for such a violent culture, like I'd expect some kind of pirate duel. I like the design of the solar sails, though, so we'll ignore it. Tendi finds out Erica is pregnant by invading her privacy and reading her log.
But there's just too much on the line, and now I have to keep my pregnancy secret.
And then tries to keep her from exerting herself during the race.
What? This thing doesn't have inertial dampeners.
Relax, it's just a little turbulent.
And after she manufactures a tie...
Now neither of us wins!
It's a tie! The Queen is going to be happy that we compromised.
Erica reveals she kept it from Tendi to keep her from having to stay on Orion and mentor her niece for 14 years, as the next mistress of the Winter Constellations.
Oh, you're having a girl?
That's right. And Orion law would require you, the current mistress, to stay and train her.
They go before the Queen again, and she's pissed about the tie and strips both families of their wealth.
Blow it up!
Yeah, so it was a tie. Pretty smart, right?
No! Everyone lose!
Tendi returns to Starfleet with her family's blessing.
You need to return to Starfleet. I don't want my girl growing up seeing you do anything other than what your heart tells you.
They're, really taking losing everything in stride.
Money's not everything.
Might be nice to take a break from the stress of all the assassination attempts.
Meanwhile, in the A-plot, the Cerritos sends Boimler and Mariner to Targalis 9 to help the new Federation member remove obsolete financial institutions and replace them with community spaces in their new post-scarcity era. Boimler is obsessively mentoring the ensigns with pointers.
Boimler's pointer number 16. Always research flora and fauna on a new planet. You never know what might be trying to kill you.
And trying to grow a beard like alternate Boimlers.
There's something on your face.
Is it a bug?
Worse, it is a weird little mustache.
Haha.
But Mariner convinces him to let everyone take a party break.
I could be the fun boss. Brad Boimler, fun boss. Yeah, I'll do it. I'm in. Ensigns, why don't you take an hour off? You've earned it.
It's all fun and games. till the ensigns get kidnapped by rogue capitalists who don't want to lose their power in a post-scarcity society. Mariner tries to call ransom and do the responsible thing, which is report what happened.
Down there. Yeah, we've actually run into a bit of, Hey! Everything's going great, Commander. Should be done on time.
Which my friend Dustin on Best of Trek, Worst of Trek pointed out mirrors the plot of Envoys in Season 1, where Mariner tries to hide the fact that they lost an entire Klingon on their watch while goofing off.
Don't sweat it. We'll get him a hot cup of Rattagino. He will be ready to go.
Oh no! Oh no!
And then helps Boimler gain confidence as an officer while finding him. Here, Boimler tries to keep a lid on things, and they both help build each other's confidence before eventually going to ransom for help.
Commander, our away team was just kidnapped.
Let me guess, by some angry, jewel-encrusted aliens.
And then figuring things out from there. There is a brief fake-out where the ensigns employ Boimler's bointers and use the local fauna to play dead, though.
Oh my god, they're f***ing dead!
Oh, I forgot to water them.
Which freaks out the capitalists as much as it does Boims and Mariner.
We didn't mean to hurt anyone. We just didn't want to lose the capitalist system that gave us ultimate power.
And they all head back to the Cerritos, where they reunite with Tendi and redistribute the unneeded wealth from the planet to the disgraced Orions, thereby restoring the status quo. There's also a cute C-plot where T'Lyn tries to comfort Rutherford in Tendi's absence, first by fixing the shuttle that he and Tendi were working on for him, and then by destroying it again when she realizes that Rutherford had been saving it for Tendi's return. Initially, I liked Dos Cerritos better of the two episodes, but on rewatch, I think I actually like Shades of Green slightly more, although it's also quite low stakes and silly. The plot with the decapitalizing planet is interesting, and something we haven't really seen the nuts and bolts of before, and the callbacks were also really cute. It's nice seeing Boimler and Mariner get more used to being in command, and I liked the stuff with Rutherford and T'Lyn.
My request for your aid in studying was an exaggeration. I was trying to deceive you into socializing as well.
I think the weakest part of the episode was actually Tendi's storyline. I didn't like that she watched to Erica's logs, and it felt strange to see her, a scientist and doctor, belittle and control Erica because of her pregnancy, to the point of cutiny?
Posing a mutiny, yes, but a gentle, supportive mutiny. A cute me.
Especially considering their cultural context, it didn't make a lot of sense and kind of reflected poorly on her even though it was well-intentioned.
This race was a good idea in your condition?
Mom fought dozens of battles when she was carrying you.
It also felt like the Orion storyline ended rather abruptly for how much it was built up at the end of Season 4. It would have been nice to see that developed more, so her return felt like a bigger moment. I understand they wanted to just get her back aboard the Cerritos considering this is the last season though, it just felt a bit clunky. It also feels like they were trying to build towards a bit of a cultural shift within Orion that I'd like to explore more, with Tendi's crew, the medical ship, and the Orions from those old scientists, and I hope we do get to spend more time on it in this remaining season, even if we know it won't last in a few hundred years in Discovery. That said, there was a lot to like about this episode, there were some solid jokes.
Man, I don't know what I'd do if my mom sent me a dragon.
I loved the robot gardener.
I will never again choose the path of violence.
And there were lots of nice moments between the characters. It just didn't blow me away, but I'm still really excited for the rest of the season. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Which of the first 2 episodes of Lower Decks Season 5 is your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll do my best to keep up with weekly reviews for the rest of the season, but most weeks you'll also be able to catch me on Buffer Time with Dustin and other friends on Monday evenings at 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST on Best of Trek, Worst of Trek. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos. See you next time. Wiedersehen.